Hi friends, it's Deanna Williston with Our Blooming Catholic Life, and yes, I am here with another book review. Package came and I have kept myself from tumbling it. And if you're wondering like why I'm getting even more books when I haven't finished reviewing all of them, can't really see, but I have gotten shingles, and I think my husband's trying to distract me. This was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but I think he felt bad that I'm in so much pain. I'm actually sleeping through the nights now, which is nice, but gonna have to cut back on that painkiller soon and be a big girl about it. So he got me something to distract me, and I'm trying to open it. It is from Tao Publishing. If you're a secular Franciscan and you have not found Tao Publishing yet, wow, are you in for a treat? I don't even remember why I was on the website, but they had a limited printing, leatherbound of the Office of the Passion of St. Francis of Assisi. I have a copy, like, for my phone, a PDF copy, of a really ancient text of it. One of those scans they do on archive sites. That's what I had. This one is, then it says, The Geste of the Great King by Laurent Galliant, OFM, and Andre Serino, OFM. We all know I can't pronounce names. Don't judge. It does say it's copyright 2011. Again, Tao Publishing. And their website is just taopublishing.com. So just the straightforward, am I getting it right? T-A-U publishing.com. Same Tao meaning as this, just the wooden part, the Tao. taopublishing.com. It is printed in the USA. Table of contents. So preface, foreword, abbreviations. Section 1, praying the little office of the Passion, with an introduction after that. How to use this little office. Awesome. And then there's 4 there. Praying the little office 7 times daily. Praying the little office 3 times daily. Praying the little office twice daily. Praying the little office once daily. Then there's a note from the translator of the prayer section. A note from the illustrators. Little office was Psalm 1. Little office was Psalm 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Goes up to 15. Then there's music. A note from the composer. Technical indications. The next section is praises to be said at all hours, prayer and antiphon. Then we have the Psalms of Francis, the tones for chanting the Psalms of Francis, both for ordinary use and for special occasions. And they go through 1 through 15 again. Blessing and dismissal. Section 2 is a commentary with an introduction, ordinary components of the office, praises to be said at all hours, prayer, antiphon, blessing, dismissal. Variable components of the office, the Psalms of Francis. The first series, the main theme, the hero's Geste, and that is Geste. I'm assuming that's a foreign language. I don't know what it means yet, so I'm excited to find out. And that's Psalm 1 through 7. Second series is the Easter variations, Psalm 8 and 9. Third series, the festive variations, and that is 10 through 12. The fourth series is the Advent motif, 13 and 14, and the fifth series is the Christmas motif, 15, and then there is a postlude. This is so fun. And the preface we have first is from Frances Teresa Downing, OSC, in her Poor Clare Monastery in Hollington, England. And it does start out, my Poor Clare community had been introduced to the Office of the Passion by our sisters in, I'm going to try it, Mombasa, Uganda. Staying with them en route to a foundation of our own, we heard this little office being prayed daily, and we began a journey of discovery into the riches that St. Francis had opened up for us. So we were alert when this new text became available with its flowing translation, its poetic imagery, its metaphors, and arresting phrases together with easily learned music, which we know now have all withstood the test of time so well. I cannot wait to start this. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this, honestly. The next preface is from the original, and I'll read you a weensy bit of that. This is from Margaret Carney, OSF, the president of St. Bonaventure University in 2001. How loudly I cried out to you, my God, as I read the Psalms of David. songs full of faith, outbursts of devotion with no room in them for the breath of pride. How loudly I began to cry out to you in those psalms, how I was inflamed by them with love for you, and fired to recite them to the whole world, were I able, as a remedy against human pride. The Confessions, translated by Maria Bolding, OSB, Vintage Books, New York, 1997. Thus does Augustine declare his reverence for the Psalter, which anchors his newfound faith and opens his spirit to the depths of divine intimacy. Indeed, through all the ages that have witnessed grace granted to mortals by the God of Abraham, the father of Jesus, the Psalms have been beloved expression of that gift. I'm not going to go any further. Like, even these prefaces have me so excited to begin. Might just shut the camera and go off and do it myself. Then, of course, there's a foreword. Who's the foreword by? Andre Robert Cirino, OFM, from Siena Friary in New York. He wrote it over the course of 2 years. There's 2 dates, a 2000 date and a 2011 date, so I don't know. It does say, while browsing through one of the many bookstores on the Via della Concezione in Rome, I picked up an illustrated booklet of the Office of Passion of St. Francis, and from that day I began to dream of having such a publication available in English so as to make this prayer of Francis more accessible for the people to pray. And it goes on. The abbreviations are pretty standard, I think. The admonitions, earlier rule, later rule, second letter of the faithful, letter to the entire order, salutation of virtues. I don't know that these are standard abbreviations, but these are standard things, and they're pretty easy to figure out what the abbreviations are. These totally make sense. And then praying the little office, and like here is one of the little images. At San Damiano, Francis is awakened to the voice of Christ, his hero. And you have this little picture here. So there are pictures throughout. Not a lot. Does come with 2 ribbons. I don't know where to put them yet because I haven't read the book. I don't know. The pictures are more, probably not my favorite style, but they're still pretty thought-provoking. That actually looks like the Jesus from the San Damiano cross, right? I mean, just for comparison, just saying. So it's kind of like an icon style, but also it's kind of like a 70s style to me. Pretty easy text to read. I do want to show you some of the music super quick. I'm going to put my hand over it so you can't necessarily hear it, but pretty easy to read, just simple, right? And that has, because they are copyrighted, all rights reserved. So it gives you the Psalms, it tells you the tones. There's a little bit of glue on the edge of my pages here that I'm scraping off. That's what that was about, sorry. That might just be mine, but there's a smidgy of glue. It's rubbing right off, it's no big deal. Some of the music that was pretty much like a chant music. There is also symbols for chanting the little office. That's in the technical indications. And adaptations of chords for piano or organ. So some of it is standard looking music, right? And some of it is more chant. Musical notation. And it's normal when we pray, where it has, the V and the R telling you for the leader and the respondent. I'm in the commentary section. The commentary is pretty self-explanatory. So the part that is a line from the psalm they put in bold, and then their commentary is not bold. It's just regular print. That's pretty easy to understand. They go through, like Psalm 3, morning interlude for Prime during the entire year. There's an introduction, straight up commentary. Let's see here. Yeah, and then they move on to 4. And again, it's going to tell you the name of the psalm, kind of what it is, and then when you would be using it. And then an introduction, and then kind of a line-by-line commentary. I could spend forever in this book. I had no idea it was going to be all this. I wondered why it was so big, I have to admit. But I love Tao Publishing. If you have followed me before, you'll know the Franciscan Journal that was based on, I think it was like a year with Francis and a year with Claire, I think is what it was based on. I have loved that book. That is a book I found first before I really found the secular Franciscans. And those journaling prompts in there are so deep and so lovely. My faith grew so much just doing that book before I even started formation. That's what made me fall really in love so deeply with the Franciscan family, and that I had to be a member of it. This book is going to do that, I think, for other people, to just go more deeply in that love. If you are a secular Franciscan and you're wondering why I'm reviewing this, when we pray the Divine Office, we are also allowed to pray the little office of the Blessed Virgin Mary, St. Francis's office of the Passion. I think we can do Franciscan Morning and Evening Praise, which is another book, and I'm pretty sure Tau Publishing carries that one as well. There may be one more that we can do. So some of the little offices we can pray as well. Some people find that just doing the Liturgy of the Hours, eventually it gets a little dry, especially just doing it yourself. And so they're looking for something a little different, or maybe to celebrate a special feast day or holiday, you might want to do this. There could be other occasions that you just feel like this is the one for you. It is so lovely. It's little. Oh, I should give you a comparison. Here is my 4-volume, my volume 4 of my breviary. So it's very similar in size. It's actually a smidge, maybe just nope. When I'm holding them together, they're almost perfectly lining up. So it is the same size. So you could even get a cover for it. Super easy if you want to protect this leather cover as well. I'm thinking in this one, I'm not going to be jamming all my little cards and additions and everything. I mean, maybe some prayer cards, but probably not as much as I do in my normal books. Oh my goodness, this is just so lovely. And it isn't easy to do chart. Remember I said about the if you're praying it 7 times a day thing? Praying the little office as Francis did 7 times daily. Just saying. But if you're praying it 3 times daily, there's a chart. Twice daily, there's a chart. So that gives you charts for all that. These are so wonderful. And then they just have good advice, like for groups such as local fraternities of the secular Franciscan order who meet and pray together on the same day once or twice a month. They should not feel constrained to always use the same psalm given for that day in the above chart. You could freely choose different psalms for your successive meetings. And it just say to choose it for the appropriate liturgical season they do recommend. And that's the thing we've been talking about lately. Like, you don't want it to ever become dry. And so it's nice that we have several different offices that we can pray, that if you do find it's dry, you can switch to another one, or hey, add some friends into your group, or invite someone new, right? Maybe do something a little bit different. Maybe listen to some music before you start, to get you in the mood. Maybe pray a rosary before you start. There are ways that you can mix it up, right? Maybe get out your San Damiano cross, whether it's a big one like that guy back there, or this little one here. You could get out your San Damiano cross and spend some moment with that icon, contemplating Jesus before you begin. That could be a lovely practice as well. Well, I just wanted to show you my beautiful new little office of the Passion, leather bound, that I got from Tau Publishing. They are having all kinds of don't really want to say sales and promotions, but they have things that are limited stock right now, and you probably want to run out and get them, especially if you're looking for Christmas gifts for a Franciscan. These things are awesome. Okay, friends, I'm going to let you go. God bless you. Amen.